Hello everyone, in this video we will explain how to get the input from the user. So for example, here is a simple application. So var age equal to 22, and then your age is the value of age and then years old. So what if I want to grab the value from the user or allow the user to input from this window, the console window? So first thing, we need to import IO package. So just type import and then dart :IO. So IO mean input and output. So if we want to use the input, we should import this library. So this library contains a lot of things. For example, from stdin we can use a built-in function called readLineSync. As you can see, this is the function. So readLineSync used to take the value that the user can type it inside the console window. So first we can print a message to the user. So for example, enter your age, and then wait until the user give me a value, and then we should store the value by this line of code. We should store the value that the user type it into the age variable, and then print your age is, and then the value of the age. So now if I type run, now you can see enter your age. So now it's supposed to allow us to enter a value. So for example 22, and then plus enter. As you can see, there is an error. So this code in the IntelliJ IDEA program will work perfectly without any problem. But here in the Visual Studio Code, this stdin will not work in the Visual Studio Code. So we need to run this file inside the terminal, not in the console. So how to do that? From view, go to the command palette or the shortcut or the key binding Command Shift P or Control Shift P, and just search for launch. As you can see, launch.json, and inside this just type comma and then choose console and then terminal. Now use Ctrl S or Command S to save this file. So now this line used to execute the code or run the file inside the terminal, not in the debug console. So now if we go back to the file and from run, we can start debugging. So now as you can see, it ran the file from the terminal. Now enter your age, for example 22, and then press enter. As you can see, your age is 22 years old. Also, we can make a simple application. So for example, I'll ask the user to enter their birth year. So now enter your birth year, and the value I'll get from the user, we can store it in a variable called birth year. And now we can calculate the age. So var age equal to the current year, which is now 2021, minus the birth year. So logically, the age of the person equal to the current year minus the birth year. So as you can see, the argument type string or null can't be assigned to the parameter type num. So now first thing, we need to convert the type, because anything we get from the user is just a text, it's just a string. So this value which we will get from the user is just a string. So we need to convert this string into a number or into an integer, for example. So simply just type num.parse and then stdin.readLineSync. So convert any value that will get from the user into a number and then store it into the birth year. As you can see, he gave me an error because sometimes the user will not enter anything. So sometimes this stdin.readLine is equal to null, and if so, we have a problem. So the simple solution for it that we can put an exclamation mark here. We will explain this topic, I mean nullsavity, in detail in a separate lesson. So now we can just focus on the input. Okay, from run we can start debugging. As you can see, enter your birth year. The birth year is, for example, 1998, and then press enter. As you can see, your age is 23 years old. But this code is not perfect. So the current year is 2021. What happened to the code into the next year? This cannot make a sense because our code must operate perfectly in all years. So we need another code that bring to us the current year automatically. So simply from a datetime class, again, what's the meaning of a class and what is the datetime? All these details we will explain it in a separate lesson. Okay, so from datetime we can use the built-in function now. So simply this datetime.now bring the current date. So now from the current date we can, for example, take the year, and as you can see, this property year, its type is integer, so it will give us the current year, which is now 2021. Again, start debugging. As you can see, enter your birth year, for example 1978, and then press enter. Your age is 43 years old.